Hello, everyone.
Hello, hello.
Hello, Miss Nish.
Hello, Miss Elizabeth.
Man, we've had some technical difficulties our first go round, have we not?
Oh, we sure have.
Oh, well. This is just, real life, right?
Yes, it's like an everyday thing.
It truly is. And I think that we can all agree we learned a few things on this trial test run. So uh, we're learning that the hotline is not working. Is that right, tech guy?
Yes, Mr. Techno.
Yeah, unmute yourself. You're kind of our third host at this point because we kind of got to. Yeah, there you go.
The hotline works. We just cannot queue calls, and every call that comes in has to be answered with a press one option on my end. I have to do that. So there's a few technical difficulties there, but we'll get them ironed out.
Yeah, I can see why a lot of people pay for these extreme AI option services with these things because doing it yourself is difficult, but we're building character. So, well, either way,
If we're not going
we're
to
gonna
do
do
any hotline
hotline
calls,
calls,
which
which
blows, we
blows. We
can't
can't
even
even
try
try
one.
one.
Hold on a sec. I have Sheila on the line.
Oh,
Oh,
Sheila, can you hear me? Okay. Can you guys hear Sheila?
Uh, I can't hear anything.
All right. Hold on one second. Sheila, can you hear me? Alright, she can hear me. You guys can't hear her though, correct?
no,
no,
I
I
can
can
only
only
hear
hear
her
her
because
because
your
your
laptop's
laptop's
right
right
by
by
me.
me.
Okay, hold on.
Thank you
Thank you
for
for
bearing
bearing
with
with
us
us,
here, Nish.
Nish.
Did we
Did we
lose
lose you
you?
too?
Do what? I'm still here. I just it's hard to hear with your echo through Frederick's.
Oh, shit. Freddie,
Freddie boy.
unmute.
Sheila, I'll call you back, okay? Alrighty. Thank you.
Well,
Well,
at
at
Alright.
least
least
she
she
got
got
in.
in.
That
That
was
was
more than
more
what we were
we're
doing.
doing.
Yeah.
So, are there some other topics that you were thinking about other than our doppelganger dream thing and dream?
Um, yeah. So I can't remember everything that we had talked about. Quite a few topics in the past. Um, I know that we had talked about serial killers at one point.
Mm-hmm.
I know that I was thinking about diving into poltergeists. I think that would be an interesting one.
Oh, yeah, we did have a small subject conversation like that the other day, didn't we?
Yeah,
Whether they were really actually like a ghost or if they were actually something else.
yeah, because it kind of flows into the whole doppelganger thing, like what you were explaining earlier too.
I think it does too. It's like, well, let's see. Is it really just stored up energy from a person, or is it like an actual entity? Because I've read where some people believe it's its own living thing, like it's a demon of some sort.
Right.
Um, Frederick, what was going on?
Well, you don't have to dashboard for the comments because the YouTube comments are coming in. Sheila's on there, Amanda's on there.
Oh, hi Amanda. Hi Sheila.
Hey, lady.
Oh, I feel like such a fan over here. I'm just excited y'all are on here. Where's my daughter?
Sheila and Amanda. But I don't like
But they can't call. What are some since you guys are on the YouTube channel since we can't really hear you because we're still working through the queue here? are you two interested in something specifically yourself that we could be talking about? And is there any way that Nish can see these YouTube comments herself? Does she need to be
Well, I don't know why you
on?
did you full screen this? Or that
I did full screen it. I did. And then maybe you can help Nish get on there too.
Yeah, let me.
Maybe since you're IT, you're the only person that can do that.
No, I'll go to comments.
But I would assume that Nish could.
There we go.
Oh, okay. Nish, if you'll go to that sidebar where it says private chat and then comment, you can join the chat.
Okay, where it says comments? Oh,
Uh-huh.
okay. Hey, okay.
There's probably a delay because they're all
Delay. Okay.
slightly. I don't know how big, but
Okay. I'm joining the comment thingy here right now. Okay. Did you get in there, Nish?
I'm getting there right now.
This is going to actually be a lot of fun once we can figure all this out. No, when you got on there. I'm on the live too, I think.
Okay, I am on there.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Frederick did just give me a heads up that there might be a lag. I said a lag. So I did ask the girls if there was anything. I'm talking to everybody. I just see the girls here and I'm focused on that. So excuse me on that one. But conversations and certain things that maybe interest everyone is what I did just ask a few minutes ago. Have you ever had a poltergeist activity in your life before, Nish?
So I don't know if it was poltergeist. I mean, I don't know if you would call it poltergeist activity. So that's what I was wondering, like, because I have had some weird phenomena happen that, depending on who you ask, could be considered poltergeist phenomenon.
Okay.
Because, like, sometimes people say that when it comes to poltergeist, that they could mimic other people's voices when they're not around, and I've had that
Yeah.
actually happen a few times.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Yes. So, like, my ex-husband, whenever he was out on the road, I would hear him, like, come into the house and start talking to me from a different room, and he was actually not even in the state.
Wow.
But yeah, and the crazy thing is, like, I wasn't the only one. Like, when we moved down to Texas, when he was pipelining in Texas, we had our best friends, Erica and Josh, come up to visit us, and he was out working, and they were in the extra spare bedroom, and I was in the living room, and they would come out, and they were like, Where's Wes? And I was like, what do you mean he's not home? And they were like, no, we just heard him talking to you. And I was like, no, you didn't. But they were like, no, we swear we just heard him. And I was like, no, he's not here. And so they, like, went back in the room, and like 10 minutes later, same thing. They come back out and they were like, where's he at? And I'm like, he's still not here. And they were like, we swear to God, we just heard him talking to you. And so, like, this thing or whatever it was would, like, mimic his specific voice, and it had done it for years.
What do you think its agenda was?
I don't know.
Just to slowly torment you.
Maybe, I mean, possibly, you know, there's, I don't know. I never even thought about it that way. Um, I know
I
that
know I've got these weird ass questions. I gotta know.
it's good. It's a good question though. Like, and I never really thought about it.
Like, what
And
was
then,
it up to? What was his agenda? What did it want out of it? And then you also hear, people that do like ghost investigating for people that are having issues in their house, and they're trying to, get it looked into and get it taken care of. A lot of times they'll tell you, don't even wonder what they're up to. Don't even give it that kind of
yeah,
energy, because
because you're
obviously
hoping
you're fighting it. Uh, but you can't help but to kind of be curious. It's like you need the answers, even though you already have the answer.
right.
We always, as humans, need more. You know.
Yeah. So
Bastard.
that's one of the phenomenons. But they also say, like, with poltergeists, that if you randomly smell like just this horrible, terrible smell, and there's like explainable reason for it, it just comes out of nowhere, and it just lingers, and then all of a sudden, like a day or two passes, or a few hours passes, and it just disappears. That it's a poltergeist.
Wow. Instead of possibly being a specter or a demon, or do we
Right.
think that it could be all of the above?
Well, and who's to say like what the difference between those things are too? Because
True.
there's a fine line, I think.
I have to agree.
Yeah. But so
I
that's
have
a
to.
really interesting topic.
It really is, because uh, I don't know if you like to watch a lot of these supernatural shows, even if they're old. But there was this one that used to be on Netflix, and I think they took it off about a year ago, maybe two. And each of the episodes are named something different. And one of the episodes was called The Mimic, and this thing mimicked this girl with the people that was in her life. Now here we go again. Does this go into the doppelganger thing?
Right.
Like uh, it's funny how these things can almost intertwine themselves into each other,
Yeah.
and trying to figure out how to separate them. And we really probably shouldn't even be wondering, but hell, here we are. We got a show and everything. Uh, but the mimic was able to be physical there, not just sounding like this woman. It was physically this woman, and she was making love to her boyfriend. And, well, the mimic was making love, and when she got home, it was like a whole other thing. And he was like, "Yeah, you were just here," but he physically could feel her. Like, that's interesting to me.
Yeah. Yeah, that is interesting. And that's crazy to think about.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
I mean,
that's
like
definitely
how
something to think
form
about.
a physical, like how does that produce enough energy, and then it makes you feel like maybe it's an intelligence, whatever it is.
So then that can also, so what you're talking about there, like the mimic doppelganger kind of thing, um, can also lead into the whole um, other half of your spirit, and doing the whole what did we just talk about? Gosh, brain fart.
The poltergeist.
Yeah, earlier about the mirrors, the wandering.
Oh, uh sleep paralysis
Yeah, yeah,
and
and
astral projection.
astral. Okay, that's what I was trying to think of. So astral projecting. So some people think that when you astral project, you can actually, if you get really good at it, you can create a more inner, like if you get enough energy together, you can create a a form that's actually there rather than just astral. You know what I'm saying? And so that
Hmm.
kind of reminds me of what you're talking about with the mimic thing.
Uh-huh.
Like all of these subjects can like overlap and come together. It's just crazy.
And maybe that's the whole point. Like maybe they're trying to deceive us or trick us into routing ourselves into different possibilities instead of focusing on what it actually could be. Now, Frederick actually has an interesting story when he was working over there in New England in an old haunted hotel. And he had a form. Yeah, I'm going to throw you out because that story is stuck with me about you astral projecting out of the room, out into the hall. I mean, do you mind popping on here and maybe sharing that story? Because it's an interesting story. And you were over there in, like, what? Were you Massachusetts at that point?
I was in not Massachusetts. I think it was Rhode Island. And I was down there for work, and I would stay at the same hotel. And I encountered, which Michael Palmer said it was a succubus, because I explained to him the whole experience, and that was the conclusion he had come up with. But at first I thought it was a dream, and then I think it was a little bit more surreal than that, and it was something attached to the back of my neck. And it's been many years since I recall, the depth of detail in that experience, but it was, in fact, in hindsight, a real thing that I endured while at a hotel on vacation, where this thing was attached to the back of my neck because it had intent. What that intent was, I do not know. And to get it off me, because, and it's kind of a complicated scenario. I think my mom, because that's what I had to think about, because I knew it was there and I could sense it, and I did have an out of body experience. I moved around the hotel room, but it was an unpleasant experience. I'll put it to you that way, because it was an alien. It was alien to me, and it was alien to this realm in my perception of it.
So do you think it was almost using you like a host?
See, that's what I don't know. I don't know why it was attached to me, and I don't know what it was taking from me, but I do know that, and I use the term "it has an intent" because it felt that way, like it wanted something, it was pursuing something, energy or thoughts or dreams. Good Lord, I don't know, but it was again, in my perception, physically attached to me. And I only knew this because I had an out of body experience where I could see myself and this thing attached to the back of my neck. It wasn't pleasant. It was very discomforting.
Explain the details of what its appearance was. Can you remember?
Well, I would think, what are those? A seahorse. That's a white seahorse, but much, much, much bigger, would be the most easiest comparison. That's what I would compare it to, that, because that's kind of how I perceived it, because it was white, it was big. And I don't mean white as in Caucasian. I mean, it was alabaster. It wasn't white.
Did you see through it? Like, was it transparent? Was it?
No, it wasn't transparent. But that evening, as I was trying to escape it, it's all coming back to me now. I needed to get light into the room, and I mentioned my mother because that's who I had to think about. Good Lord, your mother comes and saves you from something stuck on the back of your neck. That's whom I would assume you would, be your hero.
Now, was your mom alive at this point, or was this
No.
your mom had passed?
She was already passed. But I'm telling you, that's who I do believe helped me with that whole situation, because there was the entity, the experience, and I was trying to get the curtains open. But as crazy as that sounds, she's the one that told me or helped me to come out of it and or wake up from it. And it wasn't just a bad dream. It wasn't a sleep paralysis thing. This felt really different. This felt like something I was dealing with in the real world as well.
So would you agree that that would be astral projection?
No, because I would do astral projection as a kid, and that was a whole different experience. That was quite fun.
So what would you call it if you could see yourself uplifted out of your own body?
Girl, I was in a fight for my doggone life. It wasn't a nightmare. It was a nightmare scenario. It wasn't like I was dreaming, because it was not a dream. It did not. I did not remember it as a dream. I remembered it as a real thing. And I don't know. Again, I say fight for my life. It was a thing out of fear. Not that I was going to actually die, but I do know that I needed to remove myself, extricate myself from that situation. And I remember my mother being at hand, helping me figure out that I needed to open the curtains, but I wasn't quite inside my body. It's weird. It's something I'd have to look into. It's been like 5 or plus years since I had that scenario.
So my next question would be, do you think that there was a different kind of energy in the air that day following up to the whole experience, or maybe a couple hours before you went to bed? Was like something off in general, and then you went to bed? Like it was like a sixth sense, like you could have felt it before it even happened? Or did it just abruptly happen?
Well, you know what? I stayed at that hotel a lot of times. I stayed at that hotel often. And it was a creepy hotel to begin with. It wasn't an old hotel. It was a remodeled unit. It was a remodeled place from one of the original French colonies. And it's Rhode Island, if I'm almost certain of that, is where the hotel was. I was never really comfortable there, because it just had its own strange creepiness to it. So the weeks before, it was spooky. And it just kind of led up to me that night. I think that was the last time I stayed there. I'm almost certain, because I was done. I had probably stayed at that hotel 5 or 6 times, because I went up to Rhode Island and to Massachusetts quite often with this company that was sending me that way. But yeah, that was literally one of the last times I stayed there.
So my next question would be that did you feel pressure on the back of your neck? Did you even notice it there?
Yeah, you can feel it. Yeah.
What did it feel like, if you could describe it?
Well, I heard it first.
You heard it enter the room?
No, you could hear it. Like I said, it had thought. That's what let you know it was there. It had intent.
So you could telepathically
yeah, something to that effect, yes.
Like, so you didn't have to use words. You guys were just talking.
There you go. And, yeah, you could just tell. I couldn't understand it. It wasn't whispering, pleasantries into my ears, but I could tell that it wanted something. Like, I don't know.
Maybe it wanted to show you something.
Well, it was on the wrong side of my head. That was the case. It was on the back of my neck.
Was it making suckling noises?
No, but I will tell you this though, because there was nothing pleasant about it. It was what you could hear of its intent, is why it was scary. It wasn't. It was when, if you encounter someone that has an ill will towards you, you can sense that. You understand what I'm saying? So that was the intent. One of the things, that's why I keep using intent, is because it was so darn intentional. Like, it was focused. It was zeroed in on me, is how I woke up to discover it there. And then I discovered it was on the back of my neck. It was very unpleasant.
What's crazy about that is, was it your awareness of it that made it? Oh, hi, Michael. Was it because you were aware of it being there that it tried to communicate with you?
that's
something that I'm wondering. And then how many other people does it just do that to that don't even know that it's there? Now, did you say you got up
and
and
opened the door?
I got up to open the curtains, but I couldn't do it because I wasn't awoke in the room physically. I just knew I needed to bring the light. I needed to light, and natural light wasn't it. The light bulbs were not working. The lamps weren't working. The hall lights were not working because they were darkled. They were dim. They weren't. They would not penetrate into the room in the hallway. So I needed to open the curtain to let the sunlight in. You know.
now, did your spirit self open the curtains, or did you physically get out of the bed?
I don't know. That's the part where I think my mom just woke me. I said because your mother's spirit. You know their energy, and that's what I feel drugged me out of that whole experience. My mom was talking, "You've been fighting this long enough," and she just yanked me out of the situation. And yeah,
So did you
this went
feel
on
like
for quite some time. At least it seemed to have.
did you feel like a sense of like relief whenever it was over? Like
Oh yeah, absolutely. It was relief because you can also have a sense that the thing floated off into the wall, like I could see it spiritually. The thing it's off of me, out of the bed because I was going to sleep, and it just floated into the wall like a fish. There was nothing to it; it just was gone, and I saw it go, and I knew I knew something about it at that point, but that I could not recall, today what that was.
so what were your thoughts about it like afterwards? Like did you think that um I have to do some kind of research on this? I have to like figure this out. I've got to keep this from happening again.
No, I was done. But I had a very discomfort feeling in the back of my neck where it was attached, or I perceived the attachment.
Uh-huh.
Um, uh, it was just a very uncomfortable feeling. I didn't need to look. I wasn't interested in investigating. I just wanted to conclude the experience.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, I mean, and again, like this is 5 or 6 years ago. But yeah, it wasn't anything pleasant at all.
And I'm the fucked up wife here that says
when we go on our honeymoon, because we want to definitely go to New England. I've never got to go, so that's been my goal to go take a peek in the Lizzie Borden bathroom and tell somebody I'm doing it at the same time, because I'm that weirdo. I want to go back to this motel hotel thing. I want to just check it out. I know that's really mean of me, huh? What's wrong with me? I want my husband to relive here. But there's like something in that, like, has this, whatever this is it in this place because it has all these available people to just suck on like that?
Like, what's it looking for? What's it testing for? What's it trying to get? Like, what's its purpose?
Yeah. When he told me that story, I was just like, wow. Because I used to watch this show, I don't know if you guys remember it, called Paranormal State with Ryan. And him and these kids used to, oh my God, you would love it. You would lose your shit, Tish, if you haven't watched it. What they do is they go into these people's houses. They're just a group of kids in college, and they're at Penn State. And they just go and try to help people identify their hauntings in their homes. And I remember it being the very first show that ever stuck out because they weren't just going in to push recording and tap into the haunting. They were trying to find the source of it. So they were bringing in psychics, and his name's Chip, and he's amazing. And he did a lot of shows with children and their psychic abilities and stuff like that. So I definitely suggest you travel down that rabbit hole. One of the episodes showed this woman in her house and how she was getting drained of her energy and all these different things. And so they drew a picture, and it was this woman, and she literally was just sucking on the back of this woman's head, just like your story. And so when you were telling
wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we'll have to pull up like a clip or something and let you guys see it in the future. We actually kind of do one of these episodes on that. But yeah, the psychic
was able to draw this thing in two different scenarios, I believe, or it could have just been the same picture. It's been a couple of years where this thing was latched on the back of her head, sucking, and then it had its arms wrapped as if to almost take over this thing completely like a host.
I need that to come into my life and just make sure that like there's nothing sucking on me.
Well, you know, I mean, as much as I hate to admit it for my own self, I'm all up in anything spooky and scary. I'll find myself falling asleep to it, but sometimes I have to tap out because I think it's an open doorway when you kind of get too far into it. Sometimes you kind of got to put a Hallmark movie on and break that shit up a little bit because it can mentally get you. So, you know, if you're going through hard times right now, I mean, that would be the same scenario, just a different type of scenario. You know what I mean? If you know what I'm saying, like if you just got shit hitting you one after the other, that's going to, you know, mentally put you down to some level and open you up. So, I mean, I would say I think it's a possibility, you know?
Well, I mean, from like, I have stories of haunting from when I was a kid,
Okay.
all the way from,
Child.
all the way to when I was an adult, like, of being haunted at
By the
various
same
by the same thing. Yeah.
Still?
I haven't, not recently that I know of, which I thought was really kind of weird. It hasn't been actually since that I've noticed since I had told you about the ex-husband was probably the last time that I had any experience with this spirit. But before that, it was like regularly throughout my whole life from the time I was a kid. Like my sisters were scared to even play with me as a kid because I was creepy and because I had this friend that I played with all the time and that played back.
Wow.
Yeah.
And could they see it?
So it would shut doors in front of everybody. It would turn off my bedroom light. It would unplug fans. It would unplug lamps in front of people.
Wow. Just to
yeah.
even show how powerful it was.
Like,
just
yeah.
to show y'all what it was capable of and what it could do to scare you, I guess, huh?
Well, it wasn't even to scare us. It was like, so one night I was in my room and I told my sisters, I was like, I don't want you sleeping in my room. And they were like, well, we're going to sleep in here anyway. And I was like, I don't want you to, but so that I had a lamp in my room and
She wanted them to sleep in there.
They turned it off and the spirit turned it back on. It was like, you're not sleeping in here. And they were like,
why didn't she want them to sleep in there?
Because I was being a brat, because I was young. And I was like, I don't want you in my room. Get out of my room. And my sisters didn't want to listen because they didn't like me. They didn't want to play with me. They thought I was weird and I was a creepy kid. And so I told them to get out of my room and they didn't want to get out of my room. And so I had this lamp that was plugged in and they turned it off and it turned back on. So they unplugged it and it turned back on anyway.
Oh,
they didn't.
wow.
So they left my room. They didn't sleep in there that night. And then,
wow.
Yeah, there would be times when I would be sitting at my desk and I knew that my mom was in one of her moods and she was mad. And before I could get up to slam my door, it would just shut and it would lock.
So it was like a little protector in some weird ass way.
Yeah. And then we were, me and my sisters and one of our friends were all in my floor and we were all sitting there and there was a fan in between us and it was plugged in and it was just really cold for whatever reason. And at the same time, I think it was my sister and and my friend was like, "Man, it's cold," and all of a sudden the fan just unplugs in front of everybody. Yeah.
Do you believe that certain people have like a certain energy about them that makes them more prone to stuff like that versus other people?
I do. I
And
do think.
what makes you so special? You know, at the end of the day, like what is it? Why is it that I can see something but other people can't? Or why is it that I've dealt with this my whole life and other people haven't? You know, what do you think it makes you separate from such other people?
Um. Oh, that's a good question. I don't want to. I don't know how to answer that.
I
Without,
know. I know. I know. It's an extremely difficult thing to think about. Even when you're thinking about it, you're like, why am I? Am I even really special at that point? Because it's kind of traumatizing.
yeah. Well, I do know that I am an empath. You know. Um. Whenever I had my chakra cleansed and read, apparently I have a straight line to the spirit world.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I don't know. Maybe it's just because it's just who I am. I'm just
Right.
very open. I'm just open to all things and possibilities. I don't count out nothing.
Right. You know, I'm a big reading a comment on a YouTube episode of something, or I love comments because a lot of times people have information that you don't find in the video through the comments. And so I'm a sucker. The first thing I do is I jump right to the comments. I don't ever comment. I just like to read the comments. And one of the people, because I'm a sucker for the show A Haunting, it's been on since the late 90s, and they stopped making episodes a couple of years ago, but rumor has it it's coming back on. They do reenactments. Ed and Lorraine, before they blew up, they were on there. A couple of other people that are known to do the celebrity type stuff with the ghosts and the paranormal, they've been on there. Lots of mediums, so it's a good platform for a lot of people before they blew up, and now you know everyone's all about it. But before they were just like basic everyday people. So it's a really cool show. But one of the comments, it was an episode about a girl and her haunting, story. And on the comment on the bottom, this one girl said, I noticed when I was growing up in the haunted house I lived in, if I would think about this ghost, this spook, whatever it was that was tormenting her, when she actually thought about it, it wouldn't show up. So that was the way she got rid of it, instead of, being caught off guard, because that seemed to be when it got her, was when she wasn't prepared. So she stayed prepared by thinking about it, and it never showed itself again, and then eventually it just went away.
I feel like that would just like keep someone on edge, though.
I guess so, but it worked for her. And I thought, did I even do that, but just didn't realize it either, because I now can say I would think about it and it would not be there. But when I was just living my everyday humdrum life, getting up in the middle of the night to go pee, thinking casually about nothing being there, that's when something I felt like would always, scare me. But not whenever I was thinking about it intentionally. It's weird.
It's weird.
But I was always the kid. I can assure you, I don't think I really saw a lot of ghosts. I felt them. I felt them to extreme. But to say, oh my God, I saw this ghost. I have a couple of ghost stories, but I don't think I realized I was staring at a ghost. And then I realized, I was like, damn, that was a ghost. So, I obviously grew up on Flamesville, and it was no strange thing for someone that I've never seen show up, because my grandpa was a traveling evangelist and he set up housekeeping for other traveling evangelists, and their whole church sometimes came, and we'd have to set up all these people, and sometimes they would camp, stay at my grandpa's house, stay at the church, get a guest room there, and then sometimes my whoever else had an extra room on the property would just let all these people come and stay. It was pretty cool, but it was not uncommon to see people that I'd never seen on a daily basis. And I and my sister used to have this special climbing tree, and there was this guy that would go out there and he would talk with us, mingle with us, and he would be there off and on. And hell, through the years, just thought he was a part of a church, and we never gave any thought to it. And then I explained him to my mom, and my mom said, well, that sounds like your blah 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 that died black and blah blah blah. And I was like, what? And it took me, this went on for years. I didn't have any idea that I was, because this was like such a gentle experience. I mean, he was well mannered, and he was very engaging in conversation, and he didn't put off any kind of bad vibes, and he didn't make us scared. And we looked forward to, I mean, I say that we're playing with him. I don't know if we really played, but he was always there, and it was always a fun conversation for me and my sister. And it was crazy. You know, obviously I stopped seeing him because we ended up moving to Oklahoma City, and I got a little older at that point. And I don't really recall seeing ghosts really too much after I turned 12 or 13. But my situations have always been like that with ghosts. It took me time to realize, oh, I was looking at a ghost. So it's pretty crazy, you know?
Wesley, when my son was little, he would be playing with someone under the table and like passing toys back and forth. And whenever he was in his crib, he would be looking like up at someone and like raising his hands like he wanted to be lifted out of the crib, but there would be no one there.
Sounds like Miss Nevaeh.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. We've got some comments. Now, when we get these dang phone thing fixed this week, guys, you can call in and we can hear your wonderful voices. Let's see. Michael's got one. It says, I have seen stuff my whole life too and heard more than I've seen. We're just wired that way, like being blue-eyed or right-handed. I love that. That means that we're not no different. That's just who we are. That's precious. That just means we were born that way. That was adorable.
Emily said, I have also seen and heard things my entire life.
I know it's really sucks that our phone line is not working because these would be fun stories. Well, I know we're going to revisit this whole thing. I think we were just trying to get some practice in on seeing. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes, I agree.
I definitely would love when Nevaeh is ready to hop on here with a phone call and kind of tell us her experience with Window Man. He was a whole thing for a while, and I think he still to this day has this residualness in the air. And sometimes when we talk about him, he like shows up in people's lives through mirrors and windows. So when we get off here, we all better say a prayer.
Oh, wow.
Intentionally invited.
Melissa says, one of the first things I remember seeing was something that resembled a little cherub angel with horns standing at the foot of my bed when I was about 4. Okay, I'm sorry, but that sounds like it would creep me out.
A little cherub angel, huh? Like maybe a fallen angel?
Like, all I can picture is, I don't know what it's off of, but a little creepy little, like, half demon, half angel baby. Grr.
You know, my mind instantly goes to this little cement angel that Michael donated to the store. And it's super cute and stuff. And then I imagine the horns. Yeah, Michael's got his own window woman thing, which is an interesting whole. It's really sucking that the phone line's not working, but I think we can easily say that if it'll work next Sunday, we should definitely do ghost stories because I love ghost stories. I love to be scared.
Yeah, we can talk about ghost stories freaking all day long.
I could too. And if we were able to let people join in the call, it would be fun to hear everyone's voices on this. So we will get our shit together, guys. And oh yeah, I'm trying to refrain from cussing because I don't know how much I don't really know if it'll actually publish things if I'm cussing so much. There's like all these rules.
And let us know what else you guys would like to hear us talking about, and we'll make a note of it so we can do some research and get our stuff together. And we're so
Yeah, I've got
excited.
my notebook by me, so I'm ready to write down y'all's comments on some things that y'all would like to talk about. Nevaeh, are you on the YouTube right now? Do you have anything you want to type up before we get off here? Isn't it funny how kids too see these things and they're not even like sometimes they're not even scared until they realize something's off and then they're scared, you know?
Yeah,
Like it's just normal.
right. Yeah, I used to play by myself when I was a kid and not even care about it. Like, and then Wesley did it for a long time. I don't even think that he even cared either. Didn't think anything of it. I thought it was weird. I thought it was creepy.
Oh, whenever you were an adult and you were watching it from that point of view as a mom.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Nevaeh's whole situation, which again, I'm going to save it just so it can be a topic, but I couldn't see it, but I could feel it. And I was the only one for some time until I involved some people that believed us, because I went to my grandma, you know, here we are, we're living on Flamesville property and we're going through this. I mean, we're involved in our very own church. And so I did what I thought was the right thing. And I took it up with my Mima, and I took it up with my grandpa, and I don't know if they just thought I was going through a lot of stress and was just making things up. I won't say that they weren't being supportive, but it was also kind of brushed off a little bit. So I felt like it was my own hell with Nevaeh. Like we were living in our own hell. And you know, April had came over, and April's really good about scaring things off because she's got a certain prayer and a certain energy she carries with her. And it was gone for like a week or two when April had came over and pretty much removed this thing, and then it just came back. So it was also really crazy because this thing mimicked. Now we're, you know, going back to that mimic poltergeist thing. It mimicked. It was actually an Indian chief one time in the back seat of my friend's car. Jackie, you know, Jackie.
Yeah. Well, you remember I was telling you about the Stigini out there by Flamesville.
Mm-hmm. And that thing used to scare the shit out of us because I would go down to my mom's house, which is the little house right next to the church. And then I was staying with my grandma because I had Nevaeh, she was a newborn, and my mom was just partying up, and it wasn't the house that I wanted to raise a baby in. So I would just go party and go back home, you know. But I would have to walk from that house up to my house. I would make Brandy or mom stand outside and watch me run down the fucking, like, it wasn't the woods because it was cleared out, but it was a big open area. And I didn't give a shit if I fell in a pothole or not. I was running, hauling ass all the way because I could hear that thing screeching. That thing scared me. You know what? Brandy and Nick hit that thing one night.
You know, I've heard lots of stories about people hitting it
out there on Bryant Road.
Yep.
I think Michael, Melissa, and Sheila are familiar with Bryant Road area. I would think probably Amanda too. I don't know if she's still on here, but lots of people have seen that thing. I was at a friend's house in Oklahoma City, and we weren't even talking about it. And when I told him Bryant, he said, "Yeah, you know, my mom lives on Bryant, and I'm up there on the weekends." And he said, just fucking randomly said, "You ever heard that, Al?" And I was like, "Shut up," you know. And this is all the way, not all the way in Oklahoma City, but like up the road a bit. And this guy's mom lived out there, and they even encountered it. You know, so that owl is like something in that whole area over there.
Yep.
Well, I'm good to get off if you're good to get off, and Tech guy, how'd everything go on your end? We can't hear you.
Sir
The
Techno.
stream went well. We're 50 minutes, 29 seconds into it. I'm going to conclude the stream now. So, ladies, please don't hang up. Don't please
Hey, everyone.
disconnect.
Thank
Thank you to
you.
all the participants.
Yes, means a lot, guys, more than you know.